I'm gonna go ahead and record. So tonight, I've been doing these videos all in a specific order, and this one probably falls maybe a little bit out of order, but I think it's pertinent to do it right now because we have such growth on our team in the last week. So I'm gonna really touch on just a couple of topics that I think are very important for brand new ambassadors. And since we had brand new ambassadors sponsor brand new ambassadors this week, you know, like someone who joined this week and sponsored someone this week, we have the equivalent of a train wreck if we don't get these people equipped, if that makes sense. So get these brand new people, let them understand. What we're going to talk about is, some people call it the power of three, some people call it going silver. I'm just going to really explain to you what that means and why going silver is so important in this business. Let me see. Is Jetty already on the call? Has anybody? There he is. Okay. Hey, Jetty. I know you can't see. I mean, I know I can't see you, but if you can hear me, I may have you join in with me on some of this. So since you've got your little screen, your icon dude up. Okay.
I'll get on in just a second. I'm getting ready. You go ahead.
Okay, I was just making sure you were aware. I may have you join me on this. A little backstory is that our children are at Falls Creek this week, which is church camp. And that means that we've been at home all week by ourselves. So I don't know for sure what he's doing. There's no telling. He's over at the office. He's been joking for weeks that he's going to run around in his naked room, whatever that means. So I don't think he's doing that over at the office, though. So anyway, so much for starting the recording too early. Anyway, so this week we're really going to talk about the power of three, what it means to go silver, and how the duplication of that process is what ultimately takes you to the ranks in this business where you can have complete financial freedom, okay? Going silver simply means when you already have signed up yourself, you need to be actively looking for 3 people who want to join the business and work the business with you. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're just going to be wholesale buyers. If they're wholesale buyers, that's sort of a different category than what I'm talking about tonight. If they are people who are going to go out and search for a team themselves, that is when the power of 3 really comes into play and starts playing an important role in creating residual income for you, which if you've not watched our video or our training that we've done on residual income, you'll have to make sure you find that after the call. So you're looking for 3 people who want to work this business with you, and they basically need to sign up, turn their auto qualification on when they sign up, or at some point. I mean, they don't count as one of your 3 until they've done that. And they also need to, in their first month that or at whatever point that you're going to go silver, whoever your 3 people are, need to have purchased a welcome pack or placed an order of 100 in volume or more. Do I have that exactly right, Jetty? Okay. Okay, so basically, I just want to make sure I'm telling you exactly the way it works. It's definitely 3 people. They definitely need to turn their auto qualification on, and they definitely need to either have purchased a welcome pack or purchased 100 or more in personal volume. Now, if that doesn't happen in your first month, at any given time, as you're working your business, when you have 3 qualified ambassadors who have their auto qualification turned on, that means you become a silver ambassador. Now, I want to do some math for you. For those of you who haven't become silver yet, if you're a new ambassador, when you sponsor a new friend into the business and they order a welcome pack, you as their sponsor and the sponsor above you and the sponsor above them and so on all get paid on that welcome pack. The company splits the amount that the welcome pack is worth in half. Half of it goes back to the company to pay for the price of the welcome pack. The other half goes into paying the 3 levels above, right, Jetty? 3 levels above get paid on the welcome pack, right? 4. Okay, I was afraid that was right. 4 levels above get paid on the welcome pack. You guys can tell this is not my forte. I'm all like, I just do the business and I just cash the check, but I do want you guys to understand how it works. So if you sponsor a new person and they order a $200 welcome pack, you as their sponsor will make $50 because it splits in half. Only $100 comes into the upline, and the half of that $100 goes to the sponsoring ambassador. So now the reason this is very relevant is because if you sponsor 3 new people in your first month and they all order $200 welcome packs, you make $50 plus $50 plus $50 plus you went silver. That's a $100 bonus. That's $250 that a person can make right off the bat by sponsoring new people who want to work the business. Okay, clear as mud so far? I'm not really seeing a lot. There's not a lot of faces on tonight. There are a lot of people on, but there are not a lot of faces that I can see. So, okay, if you have questions about how to go silver or what qualifies as going silver, don't hesitate to ask on the butterfly page in case I have confused you. If you're like, I don't know what sponsor means, because I'm using words I realize I'm trying to break it down into the simplest terms, but I know that terminology can be confusing to a brand new ambassador. Sponsor means they signed up underneath you. You sponsored them. There's lots of other terminology that sort of becomes second nature to you once you've gotten into the business and get to working it. But in case you're not quite used to that yet, don't hesitate to ask on the butterfly page how to go silver. Now, the thing is, I'm going to show you guys something really quick. Share screen. Just a minute. Okay. This first graphic, it's going to be small, but this shows the power of 3 in its actually working order. So this first little circle here, are you guys able to see my screen? Is it sharing, Jetty? I can see your face, Jetty. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So this person little on the top actually represents you. And these are the 3 people that you have sponsored into the business. And they've ordered their welcome pack, or they've purchased enough product to get them $100 in volume, and their auto qualification is turned on. The power of 3 is when you can teach those people to duplicate that process, and they go out looking for 3 people each. Okay, you see these on the bottom row. These are 3 people that your people have sponsored. All of these people are considered to be on your team. That's why so many of you that get on this call, you're falling within my umbrella somewhere. You're in my power of 3, and you fall within my team. Now, that just shows you basics of how it looks. Now, 3 is not only a number you can sponsor. You can sponsor as many people as you want. It's pretty healthy choice that as you sponsor 3, once you've sponsored 3, if you're in a hurry and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, that at the point that you sponsor 3, that you pause and get them on the training pages, get them tagged in appropriate things so that they can begin to duplicate what you are doing, and then go out and sponsor 3 more. You're constantly what I'm calling going silver. Now, it's not literally, you're not literally going silver. You're doing the same thing over and over, and you're teaching your team to do the same in a process called duplication. And that just means that your team will be growing by leaps and bounds, hopefully, and that they are duplicating what you are doing. And that's what gets you to the next ranks and further up the ranks now. But we're not going to talk about those other ranks tonight, because personally, I feel like unless you're one of the people that's watching this call that you've been doing this for months and months, that going on to explain the next rank can get confusing for people. So, okay. We're going to basically, you can be as goofy as me where I'm going, right, Jetty? Isn't that right, Jetty? Am I telling it right, Jetty? You can be as goofy as me about this compensation plan, not know how far the welcome pack pays up. You can not know for sure how the power of 3 works, and you can just practice the power of 3 enough times and hope and train to duplicate that same thing, and you can end up as a Diamond Ambassador. I'm proof of that. Okay, now, your audio is still on, Mr. Chuckles.
I know.
So, okay. So these are the levels. And, for example, this shows the power of 3. If you sponsor 3 and then they sponsor 3, that would be 9 people on your team. And then if those 9 people sponsored 3, that would be 27 on your team. And you can see how the numbers accumulate. Out beside here, it shows you what each of those ambassadors are worth in points. Points is something we'll get into at a later date, but this is a good graphic. I'll share this on the training page. It shows you what they're worth in points, and then how the points add up and accumulate into a check that is definitely worth cashing. Mostly I wanted you to see the number of ambassadors column here, that if you just duplicated the power of 3 for 7 levels within your organization, you could have, you would end up having all of these added together. True, Jetty?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, you would end up with accumulated points of 4,893 points.
Yeah, accumulated right here. 4,893. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how many ambassadors you would end up having. Because it's showing on your first level 3, your second level 9.
Yes.
What?
True.
True. So, okay, that's a cool little graphic there that I'll also share on the training group. Hang on a second. Let me move this so that I can click out of this. Okay, now let me go to another. So I want to give you guys a challenge this week. This is the challenge, and I'll also put this on the butterfly page. The Perfect 10 Weekly Plan of Action. I want you to share the product with 3 people this week, talk about the product, private message people, call people. A lot of you are already doing this. Begin to tell people about how they can get their hands on the product, how they can order the product. 3 people a week for the next several weeks. I want you to prospect 3 people. A great way to do that, if you're a new ambassador, you've got your welcome pack coming in, is to order some sample packs your first month. That's like the ideal way to do it, is get on there and get you some trial packs so that you can give those trial packs to people in your life, and possibly that could get you to silver. Secondly, I want you to share the opportunity with 3 people, and that is basically you're looking for new people to join your team. Share your skills with 3 team members. Now, okay, this is where it gets really like, if you're just doing these first 2, you're sharing the product with 3 people, you're sharing the opportunity with 3 people, and you just come back to share the product with people and share the opportunity, and you skip this 3rd step, what ends up is you don't end up with duplication. You don't end up with other people doing the same as you, where you're building a big, strong, healthy team based on a solid foundation, and you end up with a bunch of people who are like, well, yeah, I take the products, or yeah, I signed up, but I don't know what I'm doing next. So share your skills. If you're brand new, your main skill would be adding them to the butterfly page, inviting them to 1 Plexus event a week. That would be, if you're in an area where you don't have Plexus events going on, then you can join this call every week, and we'll help get you trained that way. And it says, plan your work and work your plan. Examples of how to work this action plan for a part-time ambassador. If you attend a local meeting or weight loss event, you could invite 3 guests and make sure you have 3 team members in attendance. You have accomplished sharing the product with 3 guests, as well as the opportunity and the skills of the presentation to your 3 team members. This can all be done in less than a 2-hour time slot. If not local to a meeting, here are some ideas to achieve the perfect 10. Have your own weight loss event, invite guests to be on a weekly opportunity call, or like this training call. The training call is only for ambassadors, so that's for only if you have sponsored people and they're going to be on this call. The company actually has an opportunity call every week. If you're not privy to that information yet, they usually email it to you every Wednesday, and you can click on it and send it out to prospects as well if you want to show it to people who may be interested in the business. You can also use Facebook, decision packs, which is what I was calling a trial pack, personal website videos, pre-recorded testimonies, just to name a few. And also feel free to share what separates Plexus from other network marketing companies. That's a document that we have. Of course, the Perfect 10 works on a one-on-one basis too. So I'm going to share this graphic, and I want you guys that are new, and the ones that are not new that are on this call, I want you, hang on a second, I'm going to go where I'm not sharing screen anymore. The ones of you who are not new, I want you to pass this information down to your people who are new. There are so many people who just joined. I'm in overwhelmed state right now because we have so many new ones, and I don't want anybody to get lost in the shuffle. I don't want anybody to not know what to do next. I want everybody to know to look at the cover photo at the top of the butterfly page as a reference of what do I do when I get on this page. If they'll follow that, they'll be busy for quite a while, and you can go out and sponsor 3 more. If they're just watching those Zoom videos and doing the things that it says to do in that cover photo, you can keep them busy and get them equipped while you go out and prospect some more. And I think most importantly, the most important thing of this business that actually escaped me in the beginning because I wasn't properly trained is the process of duplication. Being able to put things out there. I mean, now using social media, I do the very best I can to make sure that everything I have and everything I know is passed on to my team. And whether they take that and they grab onto it, that's what determines whether someone goes on and really becomes someone who experiences financial freedom in this business. So you can't, sometimes you sponsor people and you think this one is going to be a rock star. And sometimes you get fooled because sometimes the most quiet, never has had a sales position, never really planned to sell anything, probably won't talk to anybody, stay-at-home moms, turn out to be the biggest rock stars on your team. So don't ever let those people slip through the cracks either. I mean, this is something that I could go on and on about, but don't prejudge, okay? Hang on a second. I want to see what else I have to say about all that before I change subjects. Jetty, I'm going to turn it over to you for a second if there's something I've left out on the PowerPoint.
Okay. I'll reiterate on the silver thing.
Great idea.
Basically, you just need 3 people that wants to join your team. You may have somebody, Joe Bob, that says, hey, I got so-and-so that wants to buy retail. This other person wants to buy preferred, and I got one that's going to buy wholesale. That's not 3 people that will help you get to silver. 3 people, and I've been through most of you guys. I mean, I've looked through everyone on this site, and I think everybody on here, I think, pretty much understands what being silver is. But basically, you need 3 people that want to join the business, work the business, or buy wholesale. They can be a wholesale customer and help you get to silver. So it's basically that simple. You want people to duplicate that process. That process, like she said, the Power of 3 will carry out, just like the chart that she showed. It's that simple. And on the business building bonuses, I'll take the heat on that. I think I held up 4 fingers. I'm at 3. I was thinking level 4. Business building bonuses pay out when a person buys a welcome pack only. If they buy a $200 welcome pack, it pays out to the sponsor 25%, one above them 15%, and one above that 10%. So let's say Katie, I can see Katie right there. Katie signed somebody up new and they bought a $200 welcome pack. She's going to make $50. I will make $25 and Lori will make $15. So it's literally that simple. I think there's everybody nod ahead if they understand. Yeah, I see a bunch of heads nodding. Okay, good deal. I don't know what subject you're going to next. A lot of the issues most people run into when they're trying, especially in the beginning, trying to get people, they haven't got their wording right on how they're approaching people or attacking people, or and most people would like, well, I don't have money for that. Cost is relative, always. Women, I mean, hair, nails, mani-pedi, I know that's part of nails, whatever. That money is always there and it's used. If you can talk to a woman and allocate that money ahead of time before they have the opportunity to say no, in a conversation with, however it may be. I mean, I don't know how much women spend on that kind of stuff. I have no clue. Don't want to know. But let's say, it was $150 a month and they're doing that next week. Allocate that money. Say, I can show you how to get that money back within 2 weeks if you'll let us use it to buy this and start your own business. So allocate that money ahead of time. That way you take the opportunity for them to say no away. Same goes for guys. Just like we went to Jesse's house and we shot guns and clay pigeons. There's no telling how much money we spent just in ammo and pigeons. There's no telling. Plus, we drove to Jesse's, but guys usually have to drive somewhere to go shoot. They bought the gun. I mean, there was money. Me, myself, I Jeep, and Jeeping is expensive. There's a saying for Jeep. What it stands for, the letters, it says just empty every pocket. And that's true. But anyway, guys spend money, fuel for the boats, fuel for the Jeeps, parts for the Jeeps, ammo, guns, whatever. Allocate that money ahead of time before you give them the opportunity to say no. That way you can do that, start their business, show them that, hey, we can make this money back before that money is actually needed for your next purchase. Set knee to knee with these people, these new people. Ask them what they want in life, what they want in the business. They will tell you exactly what they want to hear. We just got to listen. That's one of our main problems. We won't listen to what the person's saying. Anytime you can sit and have a conversation with somebody, ask them questions, they're going to tell you exactly what they want to hear and in the order they want to hear it. All you have to do is repeat it back to them, literally. Okay, that's what I got for now. You can go ahead, bud.
Okay. When he's talking about allocating, he's talking about a conversation that looks like this. Okay, here's the thing. It's going to cost $150 to get started. Get your welcome pack. Now, I'm not saying that you approach everyone like that, but I'm saying if someone's talking frank budget with you and they're like, I don't think I can afford to do this, you say, okay, here's the brass tacks of this. It's going to cost $150 to get started. When's the next time you plan on highlighting your hair? And Jetty didn't want to know the answer to this, but that's about $90, depending on where you go, especially if it's a place that you get hair and nails and everything done. It's more than that. I never walk into one of those places where they don't speak English that I don't get $10 upcharged until I've spent almost $100 in there. And that's why I have a hard time going in those places. And so I'm sorry, wives, for outing you that husbands that are on here, unless you paint your own nails, you're paying a fortune to go even to the cheapest places that there are, with few exceptions. I had a lady tell me one time, I get my nails done for $25. And I'm like, okay, great. You're the only one in the whole universe. Everybody else charges way more than that. Anyway, so if you can have a conversation with them that looks basically like, look, when's the do you do this once a month? How often do you go do this? Can we borrow from your maintenance account, your woman maintenance account, long enough to literally get your welcome pack in and get her one of the welcome packs where she can sell something out of it. Like one of the welcome packs that has a couple of slims, and then show her how to go silver and get that silver bonus. And that is how you can talk to some people. I do want to touch on really quick how to know the difference between someone who should be part of your team and someone who should just be a customer. And it's pretty simple. I made this very complicated in my mind in the beginning. And now the longer I've been in it, the more simplified I get. I get this whole idea now, because you see people who are rank advancing to diamond in like 7 months, and you're like, hang on just a second. What? That's because they sign everyone up as an ambassador. Their team grows huge really fast. And here's what I have to say about that. If a person is only going to use the products and they do not plan to ever work the business, okay, first of all, so far all I've said, that was me. I planned to use the products and never planned to work the business. If a person is going to use the products, never plans to work the business, that doesn't necessarily disqualify them as an ambassador. If you can go on and say also that people don't like them, and or they don't have a computer, or they don't know how to use a computer very well, that makes them pretty much only qualify to be a customer. Now, I know this is a little bit different than how I've always taught this, but I'm going to tell you, I've put the numbers on paper about where the true residual income is in this business, and it's in building a team. So if you are looking at a person and you go, yeah, the buck stops with her. She's the only person in her whole circle of friends who will ever work this business, who will ever take these products. She will never speak to anyone about these products. She will never tell her sister about these products. No one in her household will take these products. That's a customer. If this person has a network of friends, neighbors, associates, people they work with, who they may eventually open their mouth when they start losing weight, if they show any interest whatsoever, that is an ambassador. And let me tell you why. There are lots of reasons why. But one reason why is because even though they're a little bit mousy and you don't think that they'll ever plan to work the business, and they probably don't talk to many people, the fact is their neighbor might, their best friend might be Chatty Cathy. And if they don't tell their neighbor about it, if they don't have an ambassador number to give to their neighbor, somebody else will from somebody else's team. Do you guys understand that? Like, eventually, if their neighbor needs the product, their neighbor will eventually get their hands on the product, and you landlock them by keeping them as a customer. You never give them the opportunity to go out and recruit their neighbor and build yourself a team. By building yourself a team, that's the only way that you rank up in this company. And I can remember, I sold thousands of dollars in product, and I had this amazing income coming in from customers and the preferred customer bonus. And then one day my check flipped. It was like I was already making 5 figures a month from customers alone. And one day, that part of my check that was still 5 figures became less than the amount that I was making on team building. And that was in our first year. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm making 5 figures a month on customers. And now I'm also making 5 figures a month, a higher amount on team building. And it has continued to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'll tell you what has happened to me along the way. Some of my customers that I thought would never go on and build a team did go build a team under someone else. And if that don't give you chills, the wrong kind of chills, then you need to really listen to what I'm saying here, because I've watched it happen, or I've watched it happen way down underneath me, like enough underneath me that it doesn't count for me, like lower than 7 levels. So I'm telling you this because it's relevant, it's important, and I apologize that I didn't always look at it this way. I don't want you to cheat yourself out of preferred customer bonuses and go turn people into teammates if you know that they're not going to work the business. But I also don't want you to prejudge, because I didn't intend to work the business. And survey says on the Jules page, all the people that I interrogated on the Jules page, how many of you signed up with this with the intention of working the business? And everyone who answered, not me. I wanted to get it at wholesale. And they translated that to their team too, basically. They're like, sign everybody up. And I'm not telling you to sign everybody up, but I'm telling you, don't let happen to you what has happened to me several times. It's happened more than once, actually, where someone who I thought probably would never work the business, I kept them as a customer, and now there's someone else's ambassador with a team. So I want you guys this week to watch. I'm going to post the link to Sheila Medina's video about the Power of 3 from convention 2 years ago, last year. And let me see and make sure I've touched on everything in here. The first part of this video was really for brand new ambassadors. The second part, when Jetty and I got into the really hardcore stuff, is more for you who've been with us all along. And that's who's on our call right now, pretty much. I can't see everybody's name, but we don't have a lot of brand new ambassadors on here tonight, which is fine. Hang on, I'm going to click through and see who else on it. Okay.
I want to say one other thing before we,
Okay.
30 minutes went pretty quick. On someone that you've worked on, you've pulled out every card that you have, and basically, it's been a no every time you've talked to them, or even if you've talked to them once and it's a no. And this works best, I think, if you're in person to person, or possibly even on the phone. I don't know if it would actually work over text or email or anything like that. And I believe I've had this conversation with somebody. I feel like I've had it with Jesse, but I'm not positive I have. Once someone says no, release the pressure. Tell them, say, okay, I'll accept that. That's fine. But then ask that person what you could have done differently to draw a different result out of them. And just tell them, say, I would like for you to tell me what I did wrong, what I could have done differently to appease you. And I used to do this when I was selling cars. If I was trying to sell a car to somebody, and I always interviewed the person beforehand to find out exactly what they wanted in the first place. And if I got to a point to where either my price was wrong or the color, whatever was wrong with the vehicle or was wrong with them, sometimes it's their own issue, just making a decision, I would ask them, hey, what could I have done differently? What should I have done? What should I have said? And at that point, the pressure is completely gone from them. And I had many instances, more positive instances than not, of that person actually selling the vehicle to themselves. All I had to do was be on the other side, helping them through the conversation that they're doing to their, that they're having with themselves. Basically, they're selling it to themselves. Same way with this. It's just the way you word it. Once the pressure's gone off somebody, they don't feel like you're trying to attack them or sell them something or anything like that. Once that is gone, their wall will come down and open up their mind to where they can accept what you're trying to actually do for them. I hope that all made sense, but yeah.
Many times they'll come back in and end up joining or purchasing from you anyway, is what he's saying.
Actually, a lot of times it'll happen right then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We've gone over time a little bit, but I have to say one thing. For those of you who are not in my group that I created, the Plexus, it's Selling from the Heart group. It's going to be a powerful group. I can already feel it. It's talking about how to tell your story on Facebook, how to more powerfully post on Facebook and get more interaction with people who are reading your posts. If you have not joined that group yet and you're interested, we just started literally 2 days ago. And so far, it's just getting into the groove of what I'm really wanting to portray to you guys. And I had the group set to private, whatever's the middle, it was the middle one. And everybody could see it. Like any Plexus person could see it. And they were just all over the place. So I set it to secret. Well, for 10 minutes after this call tonight, for 10 minutes, I'm going to open it up and let the floodgates open and let you guys go add yourself to it. I'll put the link, let you add yourself to it, and then I'm going to close it back down because so many of you had said, add me to that, add me to that. If you have team members that will want to be part of that group or have asked to be part of that group, let's get them added in there in the next 10 minutes. That way I'm not basically babysitting everybody's everybody, okay? This is just my everybody's. Well, and a couple extras, maybe. There's a couple extra, y'all. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to have to answer questions for everybody's teams, and people from other teams are not adding extra people to the group. So I want to kind of keep it to where it'll be, the name of the group is called Selling from the Heart, and then it's like a hyphen Plexus or something like that. But I'll post the group on the Butterfly page. I'll open it up to where you guys can add yourself, and you can add if you want to add teammates, and then we can still add people, but the problem was we can still add people after that 10 minutes. But the problem was I don't want to, what am I trying to say? I don't want to be responsible for continuing to check the list to see who hasn't been added, adding that person as a friend, and then adding them, because I don't have any room on my friends list, and I can't add you if you're not a friend. So if you miss this deadline, if you're seeing this after the fact, I should have already stopped recording, but if you're seeing this after the fact, this may be long, not even part of what's going on anymore. But if it's still going on and you want in on it, find someone, ask your upline, someone who is on this call, or someone who you think may be in the group. They can add you. You guys can add people to the group, but it's just not a free-for-all. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So after we close in prayer, I'll open that page back up for 10 minutes, let you guys that want to be in on it. And I want to tell you one thing about that page, in case you're not already convinced you want to be on it. First of all, if you come in on the page, I expect you to participate. No people just coming in there and watching everybody else participate. That's the number one rule. But I want to tell you what the page is. The page is going to be powerful. You're going to see, if you do or don't join it, either way, you're going to see fruit from that page. You're going to see people begin to post things on Facebook about their plexus journey that make you want to join all over again, because they're doing it different than posting ads and graphics. And that's the skill that I'm teaching in that page. So if you want to learn that skill, I want you to be in that group while it's going on and not ask me 100 questions about how it worked 6 months from now. Okay? I don't know how I can stress that any better. I want you guys that want to learn it, I want you in on it now. And there's not going to be like where you're expected to do tons of stuff every week or anything. There'll be videos posted in there. And when I'm asking for participation, I would appreciate those of you who get what I'm doing. I know you guys who are willing to join in on a call like this are the ones who get it. And so those of you who will, I appreciate the participation. That way, people who are just joining the group, it doesn't look like a 60-day challenge from 2 years ago. And they're like, oh, I joined a dead group. It needs to be a lively group. Okay. So I'm going to pray over this group, and then we'll close out this call. And immediately after we close out the call, I'll open that page up and I'll post the link to it on the butterfly page. Okay. Lord, I thank you for my team. I thank you for peace in the midst of everything, the chaos that goes on in this world. Lord, things that went on the television today, I just remind myself that none of those things are things that shock you. You've known since the beginning of time. And whether it's just scare tactics or just crazy nonsense, or even if it's just some way to get us distracted, Lord, I just ask that we not be distracted, that you show us where truth is. I pray over the families that are represented within this team, all the precious children. I pray over their health, Lord. I just pray divine healing in every family, on every heart, every spirit, and on every single body, Lord, that even though we use Plexus as a tool, that we know where true healing comes from. So proud to work for a company that represents such amazing things, and proud to have people on my team who represent and reflect those things too, Father. I lift up any concerns that may be on people's hearts tonight. If anybody's scared, fearful, I ask that literally as we sleep tonight, that you just lift those things off of us, like literally like angel wings brushing across our face, like we can feel the pressure, any kind of anxiety just be lifted. And that you remind us that our peace resides within you. I'm so thankful for eternal salvation. Comes from one place. I'm thankful to know where that place is, and I'm thankful for the truth of that. I just lift up marriages, marital bonds in this family, in this team, in this family, those of us who are working our businesses hard. I pray grace from the other spouse, that they will see the true big picture, that working hard in the beginning is what it takes. I pray grace over every single person that's on my team, every single customer. I pray that these products work exactly the way they're designed. And I couldn't be more thankful for the kind of people that you bring onto my team. So this is really just a prayer of gratefulness. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so ready? Okay, we're going to do this 10-minute thing. Okay, you guys? Well, actually, let me make sure. I'm going to stop